I really do think, I do think the lack of judgment on oneself is a huge proxy.
Yeah, it's gone.
I really believe in that one. I think it's what makes all my shit work, all of it. I just don't beat myself up when this day, this week, this hour, this month, this year was bad. By Monday morning quarterbacking if I did a good job.
Strategies for helping kids nowadays find what they're passionate about. Because like, education's there, it's still free, the information's free. Whatever they want to learn, they can access it. So I don't care.
Exposure.
Yeah, so.
It's all exposure. It's exposure. And doing things with him, right? Like being like, let's go to this ping pong tournament together. Let's watch these YouTube, what I'm doing with Xander is like, let's watch these YouTube videos about other things besides sports because he's pot committed. Just like trying different shit.
Is that what happened for you? Like,
for me, it was, no. This is why I'm scared shit. I said it today. I'm scared shitless to be a proxy for people. I was on some different shit. I was like, this is why I use athletes and you know, performers a lot. Like, I was locked the fuck in at like 7. With no dad telling me, with no mom telling me, with no TV telling me, with no culture team. Like, I was like truly like purebred animal, right? Like, why does a leopard know what to do? Why does like a fly, like, it was just that. Which is why I was bad in school. By the time my natural abilities in math and reading, whatever, like, by the time we got to 4th grade, where I couldn't just coast by on like, math came easy to me, basic math, right? It was over, because I was already too late. I was already 3 years into this journey of like, so then it was like, we need you to, I was like, you can't get the finger out of my ear. I was done, by the time I was 10, I was long, like I'm gonna be a businessman.
You were locked into that.
I'm gonna be a businessman. If the word entrepreneur didn't exist, I want to spend every second selling stuff is actually what I used to say. It wasn't businessman yet. I want to spend every second of my life selling something. Lemonade, shoveling snow, and then when sports cards came a year later, it was fucking game over. Now it was a scalable item. It was like fucking, any hope of anything was gone. And then 3 years later, I'm in the liquor store, stocking shelves, selling wine. At 14, you know? And again, the stories I tell, that's why it's fun to have my friends from college. I had a couple of my friends from college, the gift thing, like, people understand, like, when I'm like, I worked every weekend and every summer vacation, I know people don't fully believe me. But Brandon Warnicki knows, like, it was actually every minute. You know what I mean? It was actually. Dustin and I just walking in here right now. We just kind of had a funny moment because yesterday was a long day of meetings. You have to understand, like, I had 87 meetings today. All right, if that's true, if I add anything to my repertoire, I should probably like really love the fucking shit out of it, or it's the best use of my time as a good, it's like the best business on earth, best margins, yeah. Well, that will always happen. Yeah. But I think these things are always like a decade or 15 years when you're like a serious person. And so, you know, look, I mean, honestly, like hearing that data set from you, like, it's pretty cool. Like, you know, I think you just kind of keep rolling. The only reason everybody follows me blindly is because of the 6 times that nobody agreed with me and I was right.
That's really annoying. So this is time and track record.
Prior to that.
I'm stealing the Supreme Court thing. I love that so much.
The Supreme Court thing really works for me because we have such a big company now and people are equals in certain scenarios and they waste so much time and I have such a good culture. It's actually the reverse. At first, the concept was made so that politics wouldn't fuck up the place. Like you two are equals on a decision and you start fucking out politicking each other. We got the culture so fucking right now, you'll never believe why it's important now. Speed. They both know that they can't fuck each other up because I'm sitting over here watching and you can't do that here. So they dance for 5 months and don't do shit because they still don't agree. So now I need the Supreme Court to get shit done, not to save from politics. It's wild. I built the Supreme Court to not create political warfare. Now I'm using it for speed. Because they're both trying to be out empathetic to each other, but then they're sitting and crippled and doing nothing. I'm like, it was like funny how good the Supreme Court thing has been for 2 things. The first one was clear to me. The second one evolved after we really got our culture super right.
the funny thing with you is like you listen to like everything you've done long enough. At some point, you're gonna realize like just do what he says to do. Like,
well, that
was with me and Lucas. I don't know what you did before that. And I'm like, he's wrong. I'm not gonna do it. You said do this thing. And I'm like, screw it.
Luka rookie cards.
Yeah.
You bought them too late.
I bought them at like.
When I first started yelling, you know, when I first started posting, they were $35.
Were they?
They were 30.
I caught
Thank you, Dust. They were 35. Dust doesn't react often. He must remember. They were 35
But I got
bucks.
Top Shot because of you.
Nice.
But yeah, that was the thing with Lucas. And you texted, someone said, if I have like $1,000, what should I buy? And you said buy 4 Lucas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna buy 8. And I'm like, that's where this whole thing came from. Because at that point they were on the way up, and I'm like, okay, fine. I won. Here's some money.
It's really, really fun because I'm petrified. I studied sports cards for 8. That was probably, of all the calls, the scariest one. Because even when I'm so scared to be wrong that I won't say anything unless it already happened. That's the part that I most enjoy. I haven't predicted shit. I'm just so fast at observing things, and now I have the platform. If I'm loud, at scale, and fast, it feels like it, but it isn't it. And so, sports cards though, I sat on an extra 6 months on some real, am I forcing this because I loved it?
Yeah.
Like everything was there, but I'm like, no, this is my subconscious bias. I'm fucking with myself because I want cards to be back, and like, you know, because I loved them once when I was a kid, and so exactly. And so I was very, very concerned that was going to be the one. But then at some point, I'm like, this is just too obvious. Here's the fun part about me. I don't consume without purpose. My escapism is the Jets. Other than that, when I'm on it for an hour, I'm watching why. And I'm also breaking the algorithm. Like, I'll search random shit. Like, out of nowhere tomorrow, I'll just search pickles and consume 3 pickle videos. I'm trying to break the algorithm to give me serendipity, not give me what I am looking at. I don't need Jets videos in there. I need to like do what consumers are doing. So like literally out of nowhere, I'll just type in sweaters, hashtag, click, and then my For You page will evolve because I'm throwing it off. Because I'm using it for market research. I'm not a social media consumer, I'm a social media anthropologist and strategist, and then I'm a content creator. So I wasn't getting sucked into TikTok from a consumer standpoint, I was using it for insights and was understanding it was sucking everyone in.